just sit back and relax, open up your mind. You're going to hear some things that are going to stretch your imagination. What we're talking about here is a cutting-edge science. We live in very exciting times. When we think of this technology that Omega has that is going to revolutionize the way we treat self-care globally, we're truly living in blessed times. And so this technology is built around zero-point field energy. And at the very first of this call, I think it's essential that I spend just a moment on what is zero-point field for those that have not ever heard of it before. And here's the short analogy that I use to try and get us at least with a handhold on what zero-point field is. If you had access to a very high-powered microscope, an electron microscope, that could look into inner space, what you would find is it would not matter, depending on whatever you put underneath that microscope, wouldn't matter what the choice was, whether it's seawater or a grain of sand or your finger. If you go into inner space deep enough, you come to a place where everything looks exactly the same. Electrons, protons, and neutrons. And for a very long time, that was believed to be the whole story. The building blocks of everything around us they thought were those particles, until subspace particles were determined to exist. And then in 1913, one dimension lower than that, Einstein discovered zero-point field. And at first it was thought that zero-point field was a giant vacuum full of nothingness. But now we know that that's not the case. The quantum physicists around the world agree it exists, but it's not a vacuum. It's actually the complete reverse of that. It's actually the giant reservoir that holds all the energy from which everything manifests. It's the source of the energy from which everything manifests. And so what Omega Global has, it's kind of like they've cornered this access to putting source energy, resonance, into a variety of products through an amized fusion technology. For example, I'm holding in my hand one of my favorite products and our most demonstratable product. It looks like a stainless steel pen, but on close examination, there's no hole in the end where the ballpoint would normally be. That's closed over in stainless steel as well. And inside this wand, it's not a pen, it's a wand, inside of it are crystals and minerals that have sat in an amized fusion chamber for 21 days. They've been infused with zero-point field resonance, and so what shoots out the end of the wand is a stream of zero-point field resonance, remembrance, if you like. Now, you can't see the stream. It's not like a flashlight or a laser, but you can sure see the impact of it. And so that's pretty much where our story begins. Back in my home in Vancouver, early December, I have the good fortune of having Arun Keemer, the CEO of Omega, and Calvin Starr, the VP of Business Development, in my home to demonstrate the Omega products. And the first product they chose to demonstrate was this wand. And to do that, Calvin says, hey, do you happen to have any lemons? And so thank goodness I did. He proceeds to cut a lemon into some thin lemon wedges, puts one on one plate and about 2 feet away, one on another plate, and he starts to wand the lemon, turning the wand in a clockwise motion about an inch above the lemon for about 45 seconds. And I try it, and it tastes like a sweet lemon to my palate. He says, now try the other one, the one that was not wanded. And it is so sour after I taste it, I'm ready to spit it out. And I'm thinking, how in the world did this happen? He never ever touched the lemon. Then he says, before I have a chance to recover, do you have any wine? We pour a little bit of red wine in 2 glasses. He wands the one, about 45 seconds again. And he asked me to try it, and I do, and it tastes like a very fine wine, a $50, $60 bottle of wine. He says, now try the other one, the unwanded, straight out of the bottle. And it tastes just the way I remember it, a $9.50 bottle of Naked Grape. So here's 2 simple tests. I'm blown away. I don't understand it. I can't imagine what happened there, but I can't deny it either. He says, now let's use your body for some more tests for strength, flexibility, and balance. And every time the Omega products were added to my body, I was stronger, more flexible, and more balanced. So in about 10 minutes from the time they arrived, I'm pretty much toast. And I'm thinking, man, I need to know everything now. So I book a flight to Chicago. There was a small group in Chicago doing in-home meetings. I wanted to be a fly on the wall. I just wanted to be a guest. I wanted to observe. I wanted to see what happened when people showed up that were invited by their friends to this meeting. And they volunteered to have their body wanded because they had a situation. And usually that situation had some pain reference to it. And here's what I observed. The miracle of the human body and its ability to heal in lightning speed when provided the right information. And it happened about 15 times in that 5-day period, enough to convince me that this here deserved the full exploration. I book a flight to Singapore from Chicago, 30 hours in total, end up landing in the heart of this company in Asia to realize that, they're already a very going concern. Operating in many Asian countries, 5 years in business, over 500,000 distributors already involved, excited about the technology and sharing it with their loved ones. While I'm in Asia, they bring me up to Kuala Lumpur one day, and I tour through what I would call Omega's pride and joy. It's a facility called Nura, N-U-R-A. It's the first of its kind. It's the pilot project, and it's the first energy wellness healing center in the world. Cost just over $6 million. When I arrived there, the first thing they do is they put my body through a host of tests using some sophisticated equipment, and then 3 hours later, they repeated all the same tests to see what had changed, gave me about a 24-page printout to show me what had changed, which really mirrored what I felt. I felt huge change, but I didn't know what happened. And they showed me all the physiological changes that my body had experienced in just 3 hours. Well, folks, one of those centers will be built in America in 2011. And there's a rumor that it's going to be built somewhere close to Laguna Beach. I know that to be true because I started the rumor. When I was in Chicago, I had the opportunity to see a man about 70 years of age volunteer to have one half of his face used as the demonstration piece for the skincare products. Now, these products are 0-point energized, so when they hit the skin automatically embraces the ingredients in. They're allowed to do what they were designed to do. And then 2 wands are used to move the tissue, lift it, basically an anti-gravity approach, reversing the appearance of time. And after about 10 minutes, I come around to the front view, and I can hardly believe my eyes. This man looks like he's had a surgical facelift in 10 minutes on one half of his face. The other half looks like it could use one. And I instantly thought, well, my goodness, how long is this going to last? Like 20 minutes? Is it really very temporary? Or is he going to wake up tomorrow morning and everything's going to look pretty much the way it did yesterday? Well, when I was in Kuala Lumpur, I had the opportunity to talk to Jane, who's a significant part of the skincare line, very experienced, and she has done this many times. And what her experience is, 8 weeks later, you will still see a marked difference in 2 halves of a person's face. Well, folks, when these products get released towards the end of this month, and our distributors have the opportunity to demonstrate them with their friends, and you get to see what I've seen and what other distributors have seen, you're going to be, let's just say excitement is going to reign. There's going to be a level of enthusiasm that will kick into Omega, like adrenaline running through your veins, and it's going to create a second wave of activity here within North America. Toward the end of summer, they're going to release a mat, 3 feet by 6 feet. You're going to put it on your mattress. You're going to sleep on it. It's going to be a very potent field of 0-point energy, so potent that every night your body will be invited to move ever so gently to a place of complete homeostasis, where your body is totally at ease. And here's the wonderful thing. When your body's at ease, what does not exist is dis-ease. And so what does that mean? Sleep your way to ideal health. And that sounds pretty profound, but that's exactly what it is that we got going on here, folks. Hanging on my neck is one of my favorite products. It's a pendant. It puts me in a protective cone about 3 feet around me of 0-point energy. Protects me from EMFs, those things that come off of computer screens and cell phones and microwaves and fluorescent lights and television sets, and just basically burn holes in our energy field. We need this protection. We live in a world very different than the world our parents live in. And when our energy field gets compromised, our physical body then is compromised. On my wrist is a bracelet that speeds up circulation dramatically. I was a witness to that with my own eyes in Singapore. They put a microscope on my second finger of my left hand, and I watched my blood increase in flow rate, what appeared to be 3 or 4 times as fast, by simply placing the bracelet on my wrist. When I get up in the morning, I start my day with a big, about a liter of energized water. from a machine that just got released about 3 weeks ago. It's the first of its kind in the world. It's a water ionizer that takes tap water and converts it into medicinal water, alkaline, microclustered, antioxidant water. But it has one additional feature that no other ionizer in the world has, and that is the water is also zero-point energized. It is so powerful and potent that you can test your body for strength, flexibility, and balance after you've drank some of this water, and you're going to see that you're solid as a rock, you're flexible, and your balance is like at optimum. And you can feel this water in your body. To that, I add one of our other products. It's called Brine. It's a supersaturated saline solution, 84 trace minerals in it that our body needs so desperately to affect all the different chemical transactions that go in and on in our body for optimum health. And then to that, I add another product called Amgenix. It's, again, energized. It's a super antioxidant from the superfruits, but it also has sulforaphane in it from broccoli sprouts. And sulforaphane has been clinically proven, not by us, by outside scientists, to have the capacity to turn on over 200 genes having to do with the production of glutathione. Well, glutathione is the master protector inside your body, 1,000,000 times more effective than vitamin C. And this is such a cutting-edge product, folks, that this whole science deserved the front cover of Time magazine a couple of months ago. It's called Epigenetics, and it basically is you no longer have to live with the hand of cards you were dealt with genetically. There are things you can do to change it, like turn the production of glutathione back on. So when you put your arms around all these products that I've just identified, what have we got here? We got the makings of a global self-care revolution. That's what we've got, because these products demonstrate in 3 to 5 minutes so powerfully that when you physically observe them at a meeting like I'll do tonight in Irvine, you will never forget it the rest of your life. What you're being exposed to here is the chance of a lifetime to make a difference in your life, your loved ones' lives, and the people that you touch in your world. So I'd call that opportunity knocking at your door. And the question that I have is, are you going to answer the door? What would that look like? Well, the first step would be purchasing a distributor's kit for $49. That would gain you entry into the inside of this self-care revolution movement. But at that point, you don't have any products, so the first product I'd recommend you purchase is a wand. That's your business building partner. You're going to wand everything you eat and everything you drink everywhere you go. And that'll start conversations. You can't wand this in public. You can't wand your food and drink in public without getting conversations going. And when they get going, you'll end up pointing them at this conference call. And when you do that, they're going to end up purchasing product, and you're going to end up getting paid a commission on that, and you'll end up getting your products paid for if you do it with enough enthusiasm. And oh, by the way, we've had over 14,000 people join us since the first week of January. So what I just referred to here is a scenario. It's worked a couple thousand times at the very least. So, but the best suggestion is a self-care pack. What's that? All the main products that were identified and highlighted here tonight on this call. The pendant for your outside body protection, the bracelet to speed up circulation, the wand for sure, your business building partner, the brine to that liquid spark plug effect, the Amgenix to turn on glutathione production. If you have all of those products, you have just purchased just over $900, and you have become something we call platinum in the compensation plan, which means you now have the right to earn up to $3,600 a day, every day, which is rather exciting. And here's the other really big component. You get to personally experience these products. And when you do, no kidding, we would have to tape your mouth shut if you to stop you from telling your friends about it and your loved ones about it, because you're gonna. Your wild enthusiasm, your natural raw enthusiasm is going to cause you to want to tell other people about it. So my suggestion is get back with the person invited you onto this call and say a big thank you. I love the call. I want to be part of this. It feels right. It feels like I could have found my home. And if that's the feeling you have, congratulations, you're on the right track.